I'm hand on heart. Jadon Sancho leaving really was. I'm not sure. I'm still not sure that's the right move for him.
Who is the best player you've watched live in a stadium in the Bundesliga?
Lewandowski's got to be up there.
Mm.
I've always thought Philipp Lahm for consistency. I mean, it's going to be loaded with Bayern players. Schweinsteiger was fantastic. Still playing. Thomas Müller is a phenomenon.
Yeah.
All time, I love Pizarro.
Claudio Pizarro.
What we're talking about our love of football. He's one of those.
Mm.
If you read in the newspaper that he twisted his ankle kicking a ball around, that it would have been kicking a ball around with some of his mates or something like that, because he still has that love of football. You saw it right up. He was over 40 and playing. Still got that smile on his face, still enjoying what he was doing. And I've really appreciated that. He'd scored some marvelous goals as well. Some of my commentary on I think he scored one of those really nice back heel flicks against Hamburg at one point, and that's got my commentary all over it. And he's one of my favorites. He's one of the best. Another like Lewandowski, a striker par excellence. I always feel it a kind of unfair to compare people from different eras. So if you go back 20 years, there's a whole load of different people that maybe you compare them with today. Like I saw Mesut Ozil's first game when he was about 16 in that Liga Pokal for Schalke. It was in the same year, I think, that Mario Gomez made his debut as well. And you could see by looking at both of them that they were head and shoulders above everyone else. You just look, and you're a scout, so you know what I'm talking about here. You look at their composure on the pitch, how they handle themselves, their relationship with the ball, and where everyone else is, and you know that you're looking at somebody special. Their touch, their feel for the ball.
No, that's all good. I asked for one, and you gave me like 5 or 6. That's even better than what I hoped for as well. Mentioned Lewandowski, Lahm, who I love, Schweinsteiger, Pizarro, Claudio Pizarro, one of the most fun players to watch on a football pitch in Bundesliga history for me. And Mesut Ozil as well, someone who's just a proper joy to watch. Is not for everyone, but I quite enjoyed watching Mesut Ozil when he's playing for Arsenal and for Werder Bremen. And I mean,
I'm a big Bundesliga man, so I always find it a real shame when players leave the Bundesliga. I think, I'm hand on heart, Jadon Sancho leaving really was. I'm not sure. I'm still not sure that's the right move for him. I mean, I understand. But maybe I'm just looking at it. It's maybe not the right move for me, because I wanted to commentate on him here every weekend or every other weekend, whenever.
Yeah, but it must be such a joy, like players like that who can just take on a player or a nutmeg a player or a skill pass player with goals and assists and everything like that.
Players today that are really impressive, and I find absolutely. I'm a huge, massive, enormous Jude Bellingham fan. I think he's really, really talented. Really, really. I mean, he's playing at 18. Like some players don't ever get to play at 25, 28 when they're at their peak, he's starting at that level. So if he avoids injury and continues to develop, massive. He just needs to, he's only 18. Well, 18, is he not 19 yet? But he needs to mature slightly, needs to keep his mouth shut when we're talking about referees that give decisions that go against him. People, footballers, we're all of us, we're only people. We've got our opinions. As I said when we were talking before we started recording, you don't always have to find other people's opinions correct or right, but you have got to let people have their opinions. And
everyone's got one at the end of the day.
You've also got to know when to just
just leave it be as well.
He's driven, and he's an absolute massive talent. Doesn't believe too much of his own propaganda, as it were. He can go a long, long way.
Yeah, definitely. When you see a lot of these younger players staying humble and actually work on their game year in, year out, that's such a good feeling, as opposed to not progressing and not developing themselves further. And unfortunately, a lot more players have that nowadays, and actually staying humble and developing. And hopefully, he can continue to do that.
Musiala at Bayern, he can be somebody really impressive as well if he keeps going. Former Southampton Youth Academy, and he spent some time at Chelsea as well. The young players in the Bundesliga, it's a great place for them to come.
Yeah,
they do use him, and I'm a big. probably one of the few great things that's come out of the pandemic is the use of 5 substitutes. I think it's a real step forward. You get to see more younger players. People get more opportunity to prove themselves. The game becomes faster. I mean, I don't know if you play sort of like 5-a-side tournaments or 7-a-side tournaments, which I do here. You know, you've got a rolling substitution. You can do as many as you like, as long as there are only 7 people on the pitch, and it just moves it all on at such a great pace. I'm a big fan of 5 subs. I know not everybody is, but in the Bundesliga they use it well, and I think it just adds to the game.
Yeah, definitely. And it's so fun when younger players get a chance as well. Because I remember for Bayern Leverkusen, when Kai Havertz left, you had Florian Wirtz coming in and just like an instant replacement straight away. You had Diaby getting a couple more games as well.
Yeah, Diaby is a very good player, really fast. I like Diaby.
And you had like Marcus Thuram as well. I think he was at Gladbach, as you mentioned previously as well.
Yeah.
Another young talent coming through, which is great. And because of the 5 subs that they had at the time in the pandemic, a year later, he got into the Euro squad for France as well.
Yeah, because he'd been able to perform and show what he's got.